Hello everybody and welcome back to Nostalgia Bit. Today we have a very exciting brand new episode for you talking about the MCU. Once again, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, as per usual, Cooper Britton. Hello,
still
mate.
here.
You're still here.
Hello, you're right. I'm still here. I've still been allowed back.
This is a joint operation.
I did.
So we've talked about the MCU. We've talked about it too much, some would say.
Yeah.
We've basically we just sort of started this when we did the podcast for the first time. I can't remember which episode we did, but it was like phase one.
God.
And we did like our ranking, basically. Our ranking and kind of rough review of every Marvel film in phase one. And then we did phase two.
11.
Episode 11? Right, blimey, that is a
Yeah,
long time ago.
it was phase one.
We're almost episode 70 now, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
We did our phase 2, and then we did a two-parter for phase 3. We did a sort of Infinity War Endgame. That's fun.
Actually.
But this time we are approaching this sort of modern day, where it's going to be really telling, I think, as to where we sit on Marvel nowadays. Because I feel like you grew up with Marvel, like phase 1's, like we're talking like 2008 to 2012. Like, that's like another generation ago. Whereas this stuff that we're talking about today, phase 4, is current. This is like a couple years ago. This is like recent history.
It is quite scary, like, looking at this, because I remember really well seeing all of these for the first time, whether it's in cinema or watching them all as they were releasing. Like, it's getting to a scary point where I remember that I don't like these movies.
Okay, well, that's interesting. For me, so, like, this is probably the point where I turned off from Marvel. For me.
Yeah.
But I have seen all of these projects, and I have enjoyed most of them. But there are maybe a few instances as to why I stopped.
I've enjoyed
films.
I've enjoyed most of them. This is also the period where I've definitely seen most of these twice, because this was like the bridge of when me and my girlfriend we rewatched them all. This was like the period where we reached the end. So I'd already seen a lot of these shows and movies in the cinemas and stuff. Okay. And then when we caught up again, we watched them again, if that makes sense. So I'd seen them all in quite a quick, like a small period of time. Seen some of them twice.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's good. So I think for me, like, and then the interesting thing about this as well is that we're also including TV shows for the first time as well. Because this is the era where Marvel went into TV. The last film of phase 3 was Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah. So this is covering everything, TV and film, from WandaVision up until Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
It doesn't feel that long ago.
So, Black Panther wasn't that long ago, I don't think. It must
a year and a half, maybe?
Maybe a year and a half? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely within the last 2-3 years, definitely.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to cover. There are 15 different projects to talk about today. So without any further ado, we're going to get into our list. If you haven't seen any of our list rankings before on Nostalgia Bit, this is how it works. We're going to go through, start at 15th, 14th, 13th, etc., go up through the list, and we'll only be talking about a project and reviewing it when we've both mentioned it on our list. So keep tabs of what's in our list and where they're at, because we probably will lose track. Okay, cool. So, Cooper, start us off with your 15th place. What was your 15th place? Marvel MCU season fucking phase 4, whatever it's called.
My number 15 is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Interesting. Okay.
What's your
My number 15 is Thor: Love and Thunder.
There we go. I was hoping it was. This shit's ass, man. Like, let's be real.
It's the biggest pile of dog shit. And I think this is probably the thing that turned me away from watching Marvel films or like relying on them. I think I got to a point with phase 4 where there was a string of new characters and new projects. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not bothered. I'm not as bothered about this now. And the only ones I was really interested in were like Taika Waititi doing Thor 4 and any more Spider-Man films, effectively, and any Avengers films. I was like, okay, I'll check those out and I'll try to learn the context in between if I don't want to see it. So I was buzzing for this because obviously you come off the back of Ragnarok with Thor Ragnarok, and then Infinity War and Endgame, and then this is, I think it learned all the wrong lessons from Ragnarok, and I think that's the key
100%
issue with it. But the visuals were terrible. Like, it was all very green screeny. It looked very cheap. The humor was dated.
The humor was awful in this.
Screaming Goats hasn't been funny since 2011, Taika. What are you thinking?
Yeah. For me, it was like, you had the Mighty Thor. You had Jane Foster's Mighty Thor. Mm-hmm. You had Gore the God Butcher, who was a fantastic villain and a great villain for the Thor movies. It just didn't do any of them justice and didn't do any of them well, in my opinion.
It's one of those.
I love Natalie Portman as Jane Foster. I think she's great.
Natalie Portman was great in this film. Like, I think Christian Bale was incredible in this film, but like, he just dealt a bad hand in terms of screen time, in terms of script, in terms of the comedy they try and force down your throats. Like the Russell Crowe stuff, where he's just this like Zeus or whatever. Zeus. Like, I just don't care, to be honest with you. I really just don't have any.
There's very few Marvel
love
films
or enjoyment for it.
There's very few Marvel films that I've come out of and gone, my God, that was genuinely bad, and this is one of them where I came out of the movie being like, that was actually horrific.
Yeah, it's
just terrible.
I think this is one of the few Marvel films I think I have. Yeah, you're right. Come out of this film and been like, that was dog shit, and I wish I could get that like 2.5 hours back.
The biggest thing for this is it's the worst form of Marvel humor. This just takes Marvel humor way too far. Like, we've already discussed in the past of like,
and Taika Waititi's talented though as well.
Yeah,
like, Taika Waititi's a very talented filmmaker. Like, you look at a lot of great funny films.
It's incredible.
Not even Ragnarok, but like, you look at like even go to like Jojo Rabbit, like, which is able to mix comedy with serious subject matter really really well. You look at What We Do in the Shadows, which is a masterpiece in mockumentary filmmaking. Mm-hmm. He is capable of great humour. So you just sort of think, what the fuck happened with Thor: Love and Thunder?
Yeah,
because it's just not remotely good.
Nah,
at least in my book.
I mean, funny.
Screaming Goats and terrible VFX. It's like it took all the wrong lessons from Ragnarok and rushed out a new Thor film just for the sake of it. It made it. I don't know. It just made it a joke, and I think it tells you everything that Chris Hemsworth has basically stepped away from Marvel since then, and is only coming back.
Yeah.
For Doomsday,
Avengers.
Which is probably going to be where he gets killed off. Let's be real.
Did you see the post that he put out the other day?
It was like very much like a goodbye, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yikes! Bro's feeling emotional. He's going through.
Bro's getting the Loki treatment.
Yeah, honestly. So I think there's not much I want to say about this.
No.
I think we know the situation with this film. We know it's not a very good film, and. What is there to say about this film? I don't think it deserves us to say much more, to be honest.
No.
I think
I agree.
It's crap.
Literally.
14th place. I think is probably where we'll spice things up.
Black Widow.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've also put Black Widow. So we're 2 for 2 so far. I think Black Widow is not necessarily a bad film. I think it was just made at the wrong time. They, up until this point, correct me if I'm wrong, up until Black Widow, after Endgame, after Infinity War, they hadn't actually made a female-led Marvel film.
I believe that is the case.
I believe Black Widow was the first. Until after Black Widow is killed off to do this prequel story, which didn't really at all benefit from, like...
No.
The only thing that was after Endgame, only the post-credit scene.
Yeah, first of all, if you watch all the Marvel films in order, like I did with my girlfriend, whose favourite character was Black Widow, and you watch all the post-credit scenes, it does indeed spoil one of the big things from Endgame. Yeah. Which I understand why they do it.
Well, because it came out after Endgame, but then it's like...
It's set like just after Civil War.
It's annoying. Like they should have almost strayed away from that as best they could, so they could then people could retroactively watch this around Civil War.
Yeah, it's like, and don't get me wrong, I think it's a decent story. The characters who are introduced are great. You get Florence Pugh's character, you get what's his name, you get Red Guardian, is it David Harbour? David Harbour, I think.
That's right, yeah. He's brilliant. The cast are great. It's just it's sort of the right film at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's also that green screen CGI scene of her doing the backflip. That's
and just the absolute dog shit like portrayal of Taskmaster. I like the darker subject matter. I like that they're going into like the assassins. These like Russian assassins have been like, I don't know, like chemically castrated and shit. And there's like a lot of like dark undertones of like almost like the sex trade and like being like, human trafficking.
You get some good,
which is dark as fuck for Marvel and cool, but again, like
you get some good lore for the Red Room and the Black Widows in general. But I think it came too late. I think it would have been amazing to have it and have all that knowledge of Black Widow prior to Endgame, because I think her death and her relationship with oh my god, what's his name, Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I think it would have amplified their relationship even more.
I'm with you 100%.
Think, like I said, I think it's right movie at the wrong time. But that CGI is not excusable either.
No, the CGI was a bit shit. The Taskmaster stuff was shit. It was, but because of the timing it came out, I felt like the film was just sort of nothing. It was like, what's the point in watching this? Because my emotional investment's already gone because the character's dead.
Yeah.
I understand doing a prequel, but there was nothing. There was no creative reason.
Yeah.
As to why they did this now after Endgame instead of beforehand, other than the fact that they just didn't want to they didn't want to risk making a Black Widow film beforehand.
Yeah.
But they should have done, because it would have worked in that era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. 100% I agree.
But yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Me. I think it's a solid film, and I think if I rewatched it now, maybe I'd enjoy it a bit more, but nah.
Yeah.
13th place for you?
My 13th is What If.
Okay, interesting. My 13th is Eternals.
Yeah, you're going to be waiting a while for that one.
Really? Damn, okay.
Yep.
Number 12?
My number 12 is Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'll be waiting a while for this one as well. My number 12 is Miss Marvel.
Really? We're going to be waiting a while for that one as well.
Yeah. Your number 11?
My number 11 is No Way Home.
Based. Honestly, based.
Yeah.
The thing is, I thought I was the No Way Home hater, but it's like a lot higher on my list. My number 11 is What If, season 1.
No Way Home, sorry, before we go on. Like, a lot of these ones I don't think are bad. I just prefer a lot more of them. Like, No Way Home I still enjoy as a movie.
That's fine. Yeah.
I just prefer so many more of these projects.
Yeah. Fair enough, honestly. Like, that's based as fuck. I see my reasoning is like the opposite of that, and that's somehow how it's higher. But yeah, What If season 1 is my number 11. So voice for it.
Mine is 11, 15. Mine's number 13. What If is the show that I binge watched in a day, or I think a day and a half. The 2 days before I was going to see Multiverse of Madness while I was at uni.
Yeah,
so to be quite frank, I don't remember a load of it. Animation was
Britton style. Yeah, I'll just
animation
binge it,
was
like,
great.
a day before I need to watch it for this context.
Yeah, like I was like I remember it being good. I thought it was some good story. I've not watched any of the other seasons of it.
Neither. I watched it weekly.
I've only seen the first season.
I think it's more. I think it's more in hindsight now, looking back, that it was ass, as opposed to being like, it's solid. Like, again, it's interesting, but
yeah,
I think that the thing they fucked up about it is they tried to tie it all together. They tried to make it its own universe, and then they tried to bring
with
that
the
into live
Infinity
action,
Ultron and everything.
Yeah, whereas like I kind of liked when it was sort of more just a conceptual thing of like, what if this happened? Because I'd love to see that with Star Wars, but like I don't want to see a multiverse thing going on.
Yeah,
like they tried to connect it too closely, and yeah, I liked it. The animation style is cool, but it gets to a point where it is just like you're avoiding any sort of interesting stuff just to do like, what if Captain Carter was here again? Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I don't know
what if Captain Carter was a super soldier.
I can't. And like one episode was fine, but then appearing in Doctor Strange, and then appearing in the finale of What If, and then appearing in like more What Ifs, and it's like, what are people's investment with this character? Because I don't mind. I'm not bothered.
I love Peggy Carter.
I
love Peggy Carter.
I don't have much to say about What If, because it's one of those ones where it's like I kind of only vaguely remember it, and I enjoyed it week in, week out, but it had no real lasting effect on me. I didn't ever really think about it much after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Your number 10?
15, 14, 13. Wakanda Forever is my number 10.
My number 10 is Shang-Chi.
Oh my god, bro, our lists are flipped.
I thought we were off to a good start, and now we're just completely opposite. That's good, though. Number 9.
My number 9 is She-Hulk.
Okay. My number 9 is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we could talk about that one.
Where
was Falcon in that for you?
11, 12.
Okay, so mine's 9th. For me, Falcon and the Winter Soldier has...
Don't say the source.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a result. It has potential, and I think it fumbled a few bits, but for me, I have sympathy for it because I think it tells quite a good story. I think the finale, like, rounds everything up really nicely. I think it could have been a film, and I think that's this era of Disney Plus TV making.
Yeah,
WandaVision is like made for TV, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier could have been a film, and probably would have been a better film than it was a TV show. And I think the same thing about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, I think things like this is
Brave New World is the second season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, realistically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then maybe that should have been a show and this should have been a film.
Yeah. Would you like to take a guess when I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Oh, let me guess. 2 days before you went to see the new Captain America
The
film?
week before, actually, I'll have you know.
Oh my god, you are so predictable, Cooper. You are so predictable.
So really, this one should have like recency bias. So this one's probably the most accurate one because I remember it most vividly because I watched it the most recently. I don't know. It was like I enjoyed it more than I thought I would because I'd heard a lot of bad things when it first came out. I just didn't like.
I think it got a lot of hate for very little.
It did. It got loads.
The thing is,
it
was the first. It was the first thing. I was like, this was when Disney was shitting out Marvel projects.
Yeah.
So you had like WandaVision and then you had like WandaVision, then you had like a week break, and then it was Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then when Falcon and Winter Soldier ended, it was like Loki, and it was like they just didn't have much of a gap between these series. Whereas now it's quite a long distance. That back then it was all the fucking time. It was crazy.
Yeah. I just don't like it's okay. Like it's a pretty solid story, like great villain introductions and stuff, but with like Baron Zemo and everything like that, like I just don't really like.
I like the story. I like the exploration of the cultural impacts of like a Black Captain America. I like the
USA agent as well.
Yeah, I like the US agent being introduced. I liked the hesitation of Sam Wilson picking up the shield. I like all of that, and I think it goes where I never thought Marvel would really tread. I thought it took it very seriously.
Yeah.
It went a lot more political. It went a lot more... it delved into the politics of it more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Or could, to be honest, for a Marvel project.
Yeah.
So I was quite impressed with that. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think investing time into that series, I think... I didn't have as much fun as I had with WandaVision or Loki, but I think it's a very grounded series, and I think it works quite well. It's
positioned in such a hard point because you're sandwiched in between WandaVision and Loki, which are two fantastic shows. So it's like it's a hard pill to swallow, but it was okay. Like I enjoyed it. It was okay.
I think the finale of this series wraps up things in the series better than WandaVision did. I think it's a better rounded show. Yeah. Hence why I think it should have been a film. I think. It feels like they could have trimmed the fat and made a film out of this. Yeah. And it would have really, really worked.
And then done Brave New World as a TV show instead. Brave New World should have been a TV show. The political side of it. Like, you could have done a fully political TV show. It would have been fantastic.
I've not seen it, but I've not heard good things.
It was okay. It was there. That's the way I describe Brave New World. But that's Phase 5.
You think it's... I don't even think I've stepped a toe into Phase 5 other than, like... Deadpool.
It's the TV shows for me that I haven't watched many for Phase 5.
I feel I will struggle when it comes to that. You'll be waiting a while for the Phase 5 ranking.
Yeah.
What is your number 8?
My number 8 is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
That's crazy. What? No, our list is just like completely different. My number 8 is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay, we can talk about that because that's my number 10.
Oh, yeah.
I had completely overhyped Black Panther in my head.
Yeah.
In the build up to this movie, without a doubt, and it came out. I've got nothing against Shuri being Black Panther. I think it's a fucking amazing idea.
Yeah, it was obvious. I do think into it, though. It was obvious. I
do think the trailers, again, Marvel trailers showing too much. The trailer that came out the week before Black Panther came out showed the Black Panther, and it was blatantly obvious that it was Shuri. Yeah. It was going to be Shuri anyway. Like. Yeah. Of course it was going to be, but still, I think they should have kept it as a complete mystery for the movie. Like, it would have been fantastic. Like, even doing, like, some press photos of, like, the different characters in the Black Panther suit would have been funny as fuck. But, like, I don't know, I think in my mind, I love Namor, I love Namora, I love, like, the fish people kind of thing. And I think it was great. And I think Namor's a great character to introduce and will be great in the future, because they've already confirmed he's going to be in more projects. Great casting, fucking fantastic. Very emotional opening as well, from what I remember.
I think I was going to say that's the one thing I think was very poignant about this film is they couldn't do too much. they couldn't have too much fun with it because of the implications around it. Obviously, with Chadwick Boseman passing away in between these films. This is. It was a sad opening, and it was very real, but I think they did it perfectly. Actually, I think
it was fantastic,
really, really well. I think they threaded the needle perfectly, and I think set up for the future quite well in terms of what Black Panther's future should be, because it's a very important character.
Yeah, it's a very important character.
But I'm glad they didn't just recast. I'm glad they just sort of went and worked out how to
banger post-credit scene as well, with finding out that he had a secret son. It's a great post-credit scene.
Yes, that's good.
I love that post-credit scene. It's fantastic.
Because that sets up for the future as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that keeps them. But then I do worry sometimes with Marvel projects that are they setting themselves up for the future too much? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think
Thor's now got a daughter.
The biggest thing with Phase 4...
now got a son.
The biggest thing with not only Phase 4, but I think also Phase 5, and I think this entire saga in general, is this saga hasn't felt like a true saga. It truly feels like a setup saga. And I think a lot of these projects in Phase 4 suffered from the setup, syndrome, basically, where it was either, oh, this character's dead, we need to replace them, or here's a brand new character that you've never heard of and never seen before, and here's one project, and they're not going to appear for another 5 years, which is a lot of these characters have suffered from that.
Yeah.
Or they're going to get so horrifically rated that we're just never going to do it again. That's the other. So I think they're still good projects, but Phase 4 really does suffer from that, where Marvel, Phase 1, Phase 2-ish, it doesn't feel like that. Guardians of the Galaxy never feels like that.
No, the thing
Iron
is
Man
with
1 never feels like that.
Phase 1 and
Thor
Phase
never
2,
feels like that.
they're sort of looking around going, how the fuck have we pulled this off?
Yeah.
They're sort of going, we're making films, we're making good films, and they're being met with good reception, and we're just going to keep going. Whereas now, off the back of Endgame, since then, it feels like what they've been doing is they've been sat there going, right, how can we set up for this in 6 years' time?
Yeah.
When they were making Iron Man, when they made the first Avengers film, they weren't thinking about Endgame and planning that.
Yeah.
They were thinking about what's happening in the now. Whereas now they're thinking 5-6 years ahead. Doomsday.
Yeah,
and then they're working now up towards that, as opposed to letting it happen naturally. And I think that's the problem. That's where they fucked up with Kang, I think, as well.
I think it's also hard because you've had no group, obviously bar Eternals, but you've had no recurring group movies within any of the phases.
No.
So it's it's not like a Civil War where you can introduce new characters and these superheroes have got to recruit, and then you do
there's too much. It's too big now. That's the problem.
It's with Civil War, you introduce Spider-Man and Black Panther, and then straight away you do a Black Panther movie and a Spider-Man movie, and I think it works really well because you get a mix of the before and then the continuation afterwards. Whereas with this, it's all one instance. There's no reference or very little reference to everything else that's going on, and it's very isolated. Bar the fact that Hulk, I think, probably appears in 90% of these projects. He's the one recurring thread line.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, it's because they can't ever make a fucking Hulk solo film, so they have to keep,
obviously, you've got WandaVision
and stuff. Yeah.
Doctor Strange. You've got She-Hulk and a lot of the older Hulk stuff. But stuff like Wakanda Forever, I think, is very isolated. The fact we've had nothing from Shuri. There's a Black Panther TV show coming out soon. It might be the end of this year or the start of next year.
Is it? Well, the only thing
that is nothing from them all.
The thing that is continuing is Ironheart.
Yes, that's soon. Actually, that's in about a month's time. I know it's about 2 weeks' time,
isn't it?
No, 24th of June it starts.
Yeah, so
that's 2 weeks.
That's exciting. I guess that's part of this, and
I look forward to that.
Look, I haven't got many high hopes for the future of Marvel, but I think my criticism of it is too big now. And that's it's not a bad thing. It's just that it's the hole they've dug for themselves at the end of the day. It's when you get past Endgame, you have to try and make it bigger and better. So they spent the entirety of Phase 4 pretty much introducing so many new characters. But now it's so disconnected. How are these characters even in the same universe? How do we cross it over?
Yeah.
You can make it work, yes, but I'm worried about, because Endgame and Infinity War, that felt authentic. It felt like it's miraculous that they've got here. You can't create lightning in a bottle twice.
Yeah, I do. I
think that's my worry.
I think with this phase, with this saga, I guess, I'm just ready for it to be done. I am fully prepared for Doomsday and Secret Wars to just be a culling, to them just kill every single person that they don't want to be in the future of Marvel.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly how I think, because I think they're going to go into the mutant saga, the next saga, whatever it is, with just a brand new, fresh start.
Yeah, that's
limited
what they need
cast.
to do. They might hate it, but they need to do that. They either need to kill people off, or they need to send them out on their errands, right? Like how Civil War didn't have Thor or Hulk in it, and they weren't even mentioned because they weren't important for that story. And I think that's important. That's what you need to be doing. Is Avengers Doomsday cannot have every character in it. I will be disappointed. The thing that disappoints me, though, is the new characters that they spent a lot of time building up aren't that close to it. And we'll get to that when I talk about a particular project in Phase 4 that I love, but has just never been touched since. But yeah, let's continue.
It's a lot of the thing with the Young Avengers as well. It's like we've had WandaVision, we've had Miss Marvel, we've had Hawkeye, and then after all of these projects which came out in Phase 4, it was only at the back end of Phase 5 where we actually had any inkling of a Young Avengers in a post-credit scene in a movie. Yeah. And it's like, you should have had this established so much earlier, like had the inklings of Young Avengers. You could have done a Young Avengers movie or TV show at the end of Phase 4 to have them finding the Young Avengers. It would have been amazing. America, you've got America Chavez, like you've got so many members who could be a part of the Young Avengers. You've just never touched it.
Yeah, you could have done. Like, I think it's a complete waste. That then ties into a bigger Avengers film that's coming soon.
Yeah, it would have been great to tie it into Thunderbolts and tie it into the new Avengers and tied into what's going to be like the new version of the original Avengers in Doomsday, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it would have been amazing to have had 3 different Avengers teams like going.
That's what I like about Thunderbolts. I've not seen Thunderbolts, but that's what I like about it. Is it is mostly new characters from this era.
Yeah. And it's the ending, the new Avengers ending where it gets like revealed is fantastic how it's done. Like you really don't expect, obviously if you know about it, I didn't know about it, but it was like, I was like Jenny was like OG Marvel, I was like, oh my god, like this is fantastic idea. And then the post-credit scene ties into it even more with like a lawsuit going on where Sam Wilson is wanting to sue and claim copyright for the Avengers title and stuff like that. It's fantastic.
Well, yeah.
And it works really well for the Thunderbolts.
I need to watch that eventually, but I'll probably end up watching it when it comes out on Disney Plus at this point. But yeah, fun.
Yeah.
7th place for you?
7th place. My 7th is Shang-Chi.
Okay.
And the Legend of the Ten Rings.
We've talked about that already, and mine is She-Hulk. So we can talk about both of these now. So Shang-Chi first. Shang-Chi was my 10th place.
Shang-Chi is my 7th.
Forgettable. Really, that's my only note with this one. I think I loved what they set up, and I think it's all to do with, in retrospect, where it is now, and it's another one of those ones where it's not the only one on this list. But we've introduced Shang-Chi. We spend half of his film with fucking other characters, Wong abominations in it, like fucking. At the end, I think you got a bit of Captain Marvel there and a bit of like Bruce Banner.
Yes,
and it's like why have we now not seen Shang-Chi since this film came out in 2021?
It's mental. I think as an isolated movie, it's fantastic, but it suffers. It suffers from setup. It's like, you've set up so many things in this movie. Shang-Chi should have been another project, whether it was another movie or whether it was another project. He should have been in another project.
If you want to just throw in a cameo, that's fine. That's what Marvel does all the time. But it's been 4 fucking years since this film's come out, and it's not been acknowledged.
There's so many things in this movie that should have been an inkling to greater things, like the new order that she develops at the end of the movie. The whole when they analyze the 10 rings and they're like a multiverse weapon or like a multiverse thing, should have had a tie to Miss Marvel and her bangles. There should have been something in there. Carol Danvers knows about this, and she now knows about Miss Marvel. There should have been some sort of tie, some sort of connection. Again, it's crazy that we've not had any more from any of these characters. And
it's a shame because it's not a bad film. Like, the action set pieces are really good. The actual choreography of the fights are really, really good. I didn't love the ending being like a giant CGI battle as per with Marvel. I kind of want something a bit more physical and a bit more real, which most of this film has done really well. Aesthetically it's gorgeous. Like, it's a really well made film. It has some fun surprises in there. Like, I enjoy this film. Like, when I watched it, I did enjoy it, but it's forgettable. Like, because of that relevant since, it's like, well, what's the point then? When you get to Shang-Chi, you're like, well, I may as well not even watch it because it's not even part of the franchise, really.
It literally has no connection.
No connection at all to anything else, which is crazy from Marvel because it's not even like this isn't like an Eternal situation where like it sort of bombed and most people weren't keen on it. It's like it did relatively well.
Have we had any characters get 2 movies in Phase 4 and Phase 5?
Series?
Yeah, I guess Loki, I guess Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
We've had no other characters get 2 movies.
No.
Which to me is crazy.
I don't know if that's crazy. I think it's because this is what I'm saying though. They've added so many new characters that there almost isn't room for that now.
Yeah, I just think it's mental that they've just
because you spend so yeah.
Because you're going to get to Doomsday and all of them are going to appear, or the majority are going to appear, and then you're like, oh, forgot about him.
Yeah, well, that is going to happen because Doomsday's coming out so soon now, and they haven't done any of this yet. And we'll talk about this a few times in this list, I'm sure. Like, Shang-Chi's not the only one in this list who has been set up for more, but then never appeared since, and that film came out 4 years ago.
Yeah. And also Samuel Liu is fantastic as Shang-Chi.
Yeah, he's great.
An amazing cast for the character.
He's great. He's
really,
really good. Yeah. I like the film. I just think it's forgettable, and I think it's a shame that Marvel have kind of just shoved it aside. I think the best thing I can say about this film is the choreography and the cinematography, like the hand-to-hand combat and stuff, and the way they shot these scenes is really unique and interesting. Anything that goes into the CGI realm is the stuff that looks like ass, I think.
Yeah.
So She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She-Hulk
I don't hate. Yeah.
I loved it.
I really enjoyed She-Hulk.
I think it gets a lot of hate, and I think genuinely if it was not, I hate to be the guy to keep saying this, but if it was Deadpool and it wasn't a woman, people would enjoy it more. It's the same fucking people every time. It's the same criticism.
I really enjoyed She-Hulk.
People don't like it.
Really enjoyed it. And I've seen it twice.
Yeah. She-Hulk is good. She-Hulk has really great
good.
Connectivity to the MCU.
Yeah.
It is very sort of indulgent. The fourth wall breaking kind of humour that we were used to with Deadpool.
The finale's fantastic. Where
she breaks the fourth wall. It's clunky, but it works.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's not something you're supposed to take that seriously. It's like people were really kicked off when She-Hulk's twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. Who cares? It's funny.
So funny.
It's fucking stupid. If Deadpool did it, you'd fucking lap it up. So why is it any different now?
Having Daredevil and She-Hulk get together and then have Daredevil do the walk of shame in the morning. It's so one of the most genius writing ideas ever. It is so funny to do. I love that.
Having Daredevil's reintroduction to the MCU in She-Hulk, I think is actually one of the most, like, just like a stroke of genius. Where it's like...
It's fantastic.
Because it brings appeal to this show. It's completely stylistically different to anything that Daredevil's been in before. And I mean, I know technically Spider-Man No Way Home was his reintroduction, but this is his proper reintroduction as Daredevil. Sort of slightly new costume. That episode where he gets reintroduced is incredible. Like the way they shot it, the choreography, the fights, the music. Yeah, it's banging. It's very, very good. And that, again, interconnectivity between everything, it makes complete sense. Like, She-Hulk is she's a lawyer, she's an attorney.
Yeah.
So having Matt Murdock in that makes complete sense. I love that connectivity. I like the connections to Bruce Banner and Hulk. I love the connections to Abomination and Tim Roth. Although they kind of mute his character a little bit, but I do like his inclusion here.
Yeah.
I think it's a great series. I really don't have many problems with it, and because it's a comedy, and because it's sort of a fourth wall breaking, self-acknowledging kind of comedy, I don't think you can take it too seriously. And to be honest, like, I can't really put it much higher than this, but I thoroughly enjoed it, and I haven't really got many bad things to say about it.
No, nor do I. I really
Where was
it
in your list?
I got it 9th, but it's like 9th and above. Like, obviously, even what kind of ever and above. Like, I have good things to say about all of them. Like, There's not. 100%. I don't have much negative to say. The only negative stuff I have to say is that they've just never been in it since. Yeah. Like, it's like that. Most of my issues with this.
She-Hulk just won't be coming back. I don't think. Like, she was. The actress who plays She-Hulk was super critical of Disney and Marvel during the writers' strike, and fucking pop off, Queen.
Yeah, literally.
Like, I fucking love that she just did not hold back. Like, a lot of the people involved with this franchise, unfortunately, weren't very vocal in that time where AI is coming for the creative industry. She fucking took a stand and directly called out her own bosses, right?
Yeah.
I don't think she'll be coming back. However, if she does, fair play to them. Because it shouldn't be just based on this. Like, people are allowed opinions separate to that of the corporate entity they're employed by. And they just need to accept that it's a creative industry and it does affect these people. Yeah. I'm hoping she does come back, though.
I do. There was some concept art that came out for Doomsday and Secret Wars, and she is involved in it. Because there's, like, the World War Hulk stuff that they're looking like they might be doing.
Yeah.
So...
They'll do that, and then they'll kill her off.
Only bad thing about this show is Scar's CGI. CGI ass forehead. Thor's and Hulk's son.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, that shit. Yeah, well, that's like a one scene
ass haircut. Post credits.
Oh man.
Yeah, I hope they change the design for that.
They probably will. They probably will because it got memed the fuck. Number 6, Cooper.
My number 6 is Miss Marvel.
Okay. Well, we've talked about that. Well, we can talk about that now because Miss Marvel was my 12th.
Jesus.
The biggest gap we've got yet. So
yeah.
Mine is Hawkeye.
Okay, let's talk about Miss Marvel first.
Have you already mentioned Hawkeye?
I'm about to mention Hawkeye.
Miss Marvel, I thought was probably the first Marvel show that I watched where I was like, yeah, I don't care about this anymore. Like, I watched it week in, week out, and I came away from every single episode being like, I feel nothing, I'm not invested, and I don't care. And I frankly, I dislike what they did with her character and her powers. Personally, like, I know a lot of people have the same grievance. I didn't like that. I just didn't enjoy this show. I just didn't get a kick out of it. I don't think I even finished it. I maybe I did. I might have. I know.
I really, really, really enjoy it. And I've said this before, I love Miss Marvel. I've seen it twice as well. Like, I don't know what it was. I think I enjoyed it because it was like, it felt like a true origin story. Like, I felt like it's been so long since we've had like proper back to the roots, like a child, like even having like a childlike because we haven't had the Spider-Man origin story. It's like it felt like a proper like child stumbles. I love the cultural side of it. I loved the inclusion of all the cultural side of it. And I, as much as I wish they'd kept her powers how they are supposed to be, because I think the whole Fantastic Four, the reasoning for doing Fantastic Four of changing her powers, I think is bullshit in my opinion. I think you can't do a show in 2020 whatever and then 4 years later do a movie that's a guy's got the same powers and be like, well, no, we knew this movie was coming, so we can't do that. I just think it's bullshit.
It's absolute bullshit. I think it's also just like typical of Marvel to make it like big glowy powers, and I understand that they're trying to connect it to Captain Marvel
and Captain Marvel
and Shang-Chi. Yeah, so it's like you're trying to connect it to everything else. I respect that, but I don't like how it looks. And I prefer. Like, I guess it makes it more unique to her character, sure.
Yeah.
I just don't like the show. I just don't enjoy much about it, to be honest with you. I think it's very, like... I think she's brilliant in the role. I do think she's absolutely fantastic.
One of the
she's perfect for
best castings. I think she's one of the most perfect castings. The fact she was there's like a photo that came out of her like dressed as Miss Marvel when she was younger, reading like the comic books and stuff. It's so well done. Like, it's perfect. And for me, it was the cultural side of it. It's like that whole side of culture and the story behind it, and seeing like the flashbacks and stuff. Like, I didn't know about anything. I didn't know about any of that, so it was an amazing learning point as well. I loved the show. I just thought it was fantastic. Genuinely,
I thought it dealt with a lot of good stuff. I just think it was. I got to a point where I was just a bit sick of it, to be honest. Marvel, and I was just like, this is not for me. I think I just didn't enjoy the show as much as but I do want to. I'm itching to watch the Marvels because I've not seen that, and as much as I'm not keen on Miss Marvel, I am actually everything I've seen from that looks good.
There's one bit of it that I was like, it's too Marvel humor, but the rest of it I thought was fantastic.
Okay,
that was absolutely fantastic.
We'll have to watch that for Phase 5.
Yeah, Phase 5. But yeah, my number 5 is Hawkeye. If you'd like to discuss Hawkeye.
Yeah, my number 5 is Loki.
5's Loki, wow.
Yeah. It's interesting because there's like a couple that you've already mentioned in my top 5, and there's a couple that neither of us have mentioned, and I'm quite happy about that.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. You know what I love about Hawkeye?
Mate,
like, it's just a good show, but it's like, because it's a Christmas show.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun memories of like coming to the end of the year, you're winding down, you're just chilling, you're relaxed, And I'm watching this show, and I was like, I was actually really enjoying it week in, week out. It was creatively interesting. I think it did a good job at introducing Kate Bishop. I think it does have that WandaVision problem of it fumbled on the last episode and the finale a little bit in terms of wrapping everything together. But I think the story is brilliant.
Yeah.
I love Kate Bishop. I think Haley Steinfeld's brilliant in that character.
Perfect.
In that role. Jeremy Renner's really
So
good as
good.
Hawkeye, and I really like how they
good.
develop him further in this.
Yeah.
I like the humor of it.
I love with his character. I love he's the superhero that isn't actually super, and I love they finally have done, and we saw the aftermath of all this like stuff, like all these explosions and falling off buildings and stuff.
It's like he
the
can't hear, he's
that
losing
it takes,
his hearing and stuff, and I'm like, that's really like, it's great. But it's also like this is setting up Kate Bishop to be the new Hawkeye, and I like that, and it's sort of slightly retiring Jeremy Renner, but I think it did it in a really respectful way that I really liked. Bringing back
Kingpin.
We'll get to Kingpin. Yelena as well, I think, was a great inclusion. This has a great interconnectivity with other Marvel projects, but not in a way that feels forced. Like, it feels very natural. She would be looking for Clint. That makes complete sense.
Makes complete sense.
Kingpin. I remember very vividly the reveal of Kingpin being in this and being, because it's obviously his big return. This was very clever the way they did this, because this episode, this is where Marvel are good, right? They planned this episode. The Kingpin episode came out days before No Way Home dropped in cinema. So you had Kingpin, and then a couple of days later you had Daredevil, and then it's like, okay, so now that is canon in the MCU, and that's how they did that. Subtly, without doing a big Daredevil show and dance. They just introduced those characters again into the MCU. They're here. And Kingpin being a massive part of this show, I thought was great.
It was fantastic.
It was very comic. I remember the episode when I can't remember what the twist reveal is. I think it's something on a phone, and then it cuts to credits, and it's playing like, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch," and it does that. I was like, it's so daft and jolly and Christmassy, but also goes so fucking hard that I can't.
It's so good.
I can't quite explain it, but I love Hawkeye. I really do. I think it's a great show.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of the it's up there for me. It's number 5. I think it's one of the strongest shows we've had.
It's one of the ones I'd rewatch.
I think it's one of the ones that when it was announced, everyone was like, okay. And then you watch it and you're like, you know what? This is like, it's low key because I don't think a lot of people realize that it's actually one of the best. It's so down to earth. It's street level, which we have been crying for so long. It is how it's how it should be. It's a perfect street level. It's what the new Spider-Man movie should be. Is another street level. Like,
this is what Spider-Man should feel like. 100%.
It's nice to have that disconnect from all these multiverse and big flashy power ones to go back to quite a nice hand-to-hand combat with Yelena, with Kate Bishop,
I just like that
with all the different.
I just felt like it's again, the Christmas thing sells it as well, because
releasing it around Christmas.
Because of how it is, it's
set
like
around Christmas,
because it makes the world feel real. There's a lot of times, and especially in stuff like No Way Home, whenever you see like New York, it's just like very by the numbers, basic stock New York during a random time in the year. This feeling like it sets in winter, it sort of explores a lot of that with Christmas and all that sort of thing. And I really like that. I really, really like that.
It's like I said, I think it's one of the best. I think it's great. I think Haley Steinfeld, and this is where I get frustrated that we've not had anything.
And we've not seen her since, and it's really
because
annoying.
I loved Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel's fantastic. I love Miss Marvel. I think she's a fantastic character. I love Hawkeye. I think Kate Bishop's a fantastic character.
Yeah.
Like, it frustrates me that we've done nothing with these amazing characters. We've not seen Haley Steinfeld since. Like, and she's, like, not in a nasty way. She's getting older. Like, really, her character anyway is borderline on the years of she probably shouldn't be a young Avenger.
She's probably not going to be by the time it comes round, though. She'll be, because the thing is, in the comics, you're not restricted to that thing about age, right?
Yeah, it's just a completely wasted.
But again, this came out 4 years ago, three and a bit, and it's still not been taken any further. There's still been no other mention of these characters, and it's such a shame because they did Echo off the back of it. They've done the Daredevil series off the back of it. They've actually built on this, but not with like.
The only time Haley Steinfeld's ever been in it is she's in the post-credit scene for the Marvels.
Oh, is she? I didn't even know that. That's good.
Miss Marvel. The ending of the post-credit scene in the Marvels is Miss Marvel going being in her room when she gets back. You know, the flat that she lives in with the dog, with Pete's dog. And she goes, "I'm wanting to assemble a team," and then it just and then plays the Avengers theme and then cuts, and that's it. That's all we've seen of her since.
Interesting. Okay.
Then again, the Marvels was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, nothing's happened since then. I think they're still trying to work out where they're going with everything, and I get that, but
I think we're getting close. Sorry, I keep going about the Young Avengers. We're getting closer. Like the new,
I don't think the Young Avengers will happen until
Agatha all along again introduces a new Young Avenger. Yeah. Like Ironheart is again building new Young Avengers. There's rumors of a casting for, I think it's Avengers Doomsday, for another Young Avenger. So it's like we're building towards it, but you've had the opportunity to do Young Avengers in this saga, but you've got to the point where your Young Avengers are too old, so you're having to now bring in more Young Avengers to actually do a Young Avengers, where it's like...
Whatever you think of it, it's like, I don't really care whether it's Young Avengers or New Avengers. Like, I don't really care, just so long as like they're able to actually bring these characters back and do something good with them. That's all I give a shit about. The thing is, they are restricted with age, and people do get older, and as time goes on, people are going to want to do different things as well. But they should capitalize on this, and I don't know whether it'll be a Young Avengers thing or not. Like I think with Kate Bishop, for example, I think it'll come to a point where she just ends up being the new Hawkeye in the Avengers or whatever. I don't really know what shape it's going to take, and I don't think Marvel really know. But I think whatever happens in Doomsday, I think will be the sort of defining factor of where the MCU goes from there.
Yeah,
and we'll see.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Your number 4.
My number 4 is Eternals.
Okay, so we can talk about Eternals. So your number 4 is Eternals. My Eternals is number 13.
What's your number what was your number 5?
My number 5 was Loki.
Oh, yeah. Forgot.
Yeah. My number 4 is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay, cool. Wow.
I know, that's probably quite a surprise. 13.
Bro, how is your No Way Home number 4?
I'll explain.
Hate that movie.
I do hate that movie, and I'll explain. We'll start with Eternals.
I publicly, on multiple occasions, have said how much I love Eternals. It is so good. The Eternals as a group, fantastic. Setting them up as these big, like the superheroes of superheroes, like giving them all these like crazy powers. Like, it's fantastic. The Celestials, I love the Celestials. I love Arishem. The design is banging. All the scenes with Arishem and stuff fucking slap, okay? Kit Harington as Black Knight.
For the 5 minutes of screen time he has.
Yes, please.
For the 5
but guess
seconds
what?
Of screen time
They fucking axed the entire thing, sacked off them all because it did crap and got shit on. I genuinely think it's overhated. I've watched this movie probably about 3 or 4 times since it's come out, and I genuinely just don't understand why so many people hate this movie.
I didn't watch it till long after, and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it, but it is, again, it suffers from that same thing. Is it is fundamentally completely forgettable. It is a fine, okay film, but it does not deserve a place in the MCU. I think it sort of is a separate thing and should be praised as its own separate thing. I don't think it works in the MCU. I think it's too many new characters, another big group, all with ridiculously over-the-top powers that, again, it works as a film, and I enjoy it as a film, but it doesn't. I don't think it works at all in the MCU. I think it also stinks of corporate intervention. You've got Chloe Zhao off the back of winning an Oscar for fucking Best Director to then make she'd already, I think, made this film by this point, but she got a fucking Oscar winner for Best Director the year before or the year of the film coming out. And you've just tampered with it so much that she's not been able to make her own film. You feel that when you watch it. You feel that it's got elements of an original thing in there, but it's just been fucked up with the behind the scenes shit. I love seeing Camden and Hampstead Heath and London in this. It's nice to see some familiar places. And they actually shot on location, which is great to see as well. Like, the film looks great. Again, it's sort of hard to think like these characters exist in the same world as like Avengers and shit. I don't care for that. I think it's sort of a good film, yes, but in the MCU, it's a bad film and I think it's a forgettable one.
Yeah, I can see where that comes from. I think I enjoy the fact that it's like a bit. I think I enjoy that it's separated.
Yeah.
I think one thing that definitely lets this movie down is the fact that we had this Celestial in the ocean and it never got touched until this year. I think that really wears it down because you also that also causes, and like separation is good, but stuff like that should have been referenced later on. I quite like that. I think they could have been a new Guardians. I think they could have been the new out of space kind of people, basically. I think they could have had some connections to Miss Marvel and the intergalactic stuff.
They're too powerful, and they're Earth based. They're sort of watching over Earth's history, so it's hard to do something with that. And I also think it's like, I remember the ending. I remember the conflict. I think it was all very good, and I enjoy it, but I just didn't. Like, again, I think it's too big of an ensemble cast to introduce.
It is a massive group.
What this film should have done is it should have made an effort, honestly, to kill off more of the main characters.
Yeah, and just had a couple of them.
Genuinely, like, a few of them left. It could have been doable to bring them back, but I think because they wanted to make a second Eternals film, which is never going to happen and has never happened. Harry Styles at the end, badly acting as Thanos' brother with a little CGI goblin.
Funny.
Like, what the fuck is this? Like, even trying to.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that post-credit scene.
No.
There you go. I remember the Kit Harington one. I think, honestly, I hate the fact that they fumbled Kit Harington's Black Knight.
He's one I can see coming back because it's separate to the rest of the story. He's like,
bro, it's Jon Snow in the MCU.
They'll do it.
Come on, the Ebony Blade. Like, it's such a.
They'll do it.
They
will do it. I'm sure they'll do it. Give them time. Let them cook. I'm sure at some point.
Mate, it's such a good casting.
So let's talk about No Way Home.
Yeah.
We've talked about No Way Home before in the Spider-Man episode that we did right at the beginning of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it on your list?
11.
And it's 4th for me. Now, that's surprising to me. I thought this film would have been higher for you and lower for me.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so sick of Spider-Man. Why I think this is lower as well is every single thing I see about Brave New World makes me less excited and have less faith.
Brave New World?
Not Brave New World, fucking whatever the new one's called.
Has it even got a name?
Is that not the new name? What's Brave New World? That's Captain America, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's got a name.
I have no idea. I don't even know. I knew there was another one in the Britton production, but I don't think it's got a name yet.
Brand New Day. I was close.
Brand New Day? Is it actually called that?
Yeah, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is it actually called that?
Yeah.
Since when? Oh, I didn't know that.
I
didn't know that.
Every single thing I see, every single cast rumor. Some of them I'm like, yeah, you know what, you cooked there. Most of the cast rumors that I see, I'm like, no. I'm like, please. They said that there's rumors that there's a girl playing Mayday Parker, and I was like, no.
Sadie Sink is going to be in it, and she's had about 25 different roles that she's apparently playing. I think with that you have to wait and see the film to come out first.
I know.
She's Mary Jane 1 minute, she's Gwen Stacy the next, she's Spider-Man the other.
I'm worried. I'm just so worried that they're going to do. I think it's the fact that I'm worried they're going to do another multiverse one, and to me,
they might do. It
kind of washes out No Way Home, because I think No Way Home has its issues anyway, and I do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I've not seen it since it came out, but I've seen it once.
The thing with No Way Home is, it is a detestable slop way of making a film.
Yeah,
I think it is the most visually unappealing, like, story's ass, like, bucket of fucking hot shit that I've seen.
Could say it's nostalgia bait.
It is pure nostalgia bait, but because as a kid who grew up obsessed with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, I can't lie that it's one that I would easily revisit, because it's one that I can. And for me, rewatchability is a huge factor in liking a film. For me, I don't love this film, and for all sense of it, it's got worse as time's gone on. I have so many criticisms about it, which I've aired many times before. But would I sit down and watch this over pretty much any other film on this list? Yeah, probably.
See, I wouldn't.
I would.
There's no way.
Stick it on and watch it, because it's easy watching slop. It's not a good film, but it is so, like, brain empty, sort of, like, turn my brain off and just enjoy it. Like, Willem Dafoe chews up the fucking scenery. He's incredible. Tom Holland's pretty good in the film. Like, having Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx and like all these other characters, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, like, as a fan, you can turn your brain off and just go, this is enjoyable, and I'm just enjoying these interactions, and I'm enjoying these fights, and like it has some good stuff in it, like the final fight between Norman Osborn and Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think it's brilliant. I think the stakes of it are good. I think they're really trying to do something new with the Spider-Man franchise in the MCU, and I don't think they've particularly hit all the right steps. I think as a film, I think Homecoming and Far From Home are better films, but this is good. This is enjoyable, but it's a terrible film. It's a terrible traditional film, but it's a fun, nostalgic, like, blast down memory lane. I'm so glad we got it, but I hate it as a film. But it's easy watching. It's slop. It's easy watching. I have I know a lot of people love this, and I think it's the same thing. It's like Andrew Garfield rocks up, and there's like a 10-second pause of everyone just breathing, so the audience can applaud. Yeah, but it's the one bit where you just look at it and go, it's been made to be. It's a product of post Endgame. It's made during COVID on the worst green screen sets and like CGI shit I've seen. It's a very visually unappealing film for most of it, and I feel like had they made this film now, had they had more time to do it, and they could have made something really, really special.
Maybe that's what Brand New Day is going to be. Maybe Brand New Day is going to be what No Way Home could have been.
I'm not worried about Brand New Day, because for me, No Way Home was slop. Like, if you're looking as far as a film is concerned, like a structure of a film and character and all that, No Way Home is probably the weakest Spider-Man film ever made. Yeah. But I think it also is one of the most fun to watch, because it is just like a clip show of all your favourite bits. Willem Dafoe back as Green Goblin, amazing. Like Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock, amazing. Like, there are just some nostalgic things that you feel when you watch these scenes, and like I can't shake the I can watch it and I can criticize it, but I will grin like a fucking idiot whenever I see Willem Dafoe playing Norman Osborn. I'll grin like a fucking idiot when Doc Ock appears, even though it looks like CGI ass. Him with the fucking arms and the sound effects being the same. It's the Doctor Who mindset of me. Like, give me slop dog shit, and a Dalek comes on and it has the voice modulator from the 1970s, and I go, oh, that's good. Some things tickle your brain in different ways, and I grew up with Spider-Man. I grew up with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, so any of that will just please me. But my film critic part of my brain is going, this is dog shit and it's irredeemable. Brand New Day has got to be better than this, because it's not made in COVID for a start, and I think it has a different writer-director.
I think so. I don't know who it is.
So it's going to be a new vision. It's not John Watts. Yeah. And I'm excited for that. But I think you've got to just let it breathe. Whether it is multiverse or not, I think the effects of Spider-Verse have been scary.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Spider-Verse's success now means that Spider-Man is attributed to just multiversal stories. And I think that's such a shame.
Yeah, it is.
But, like, it is what it is. We have to run with it. Chris McKenna and Eric Summers are writing it. Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi.
Oh, fair. Oh.
So, you know what we were saying about the hand-to-hand combat, like the street level shit? Yeah. That's where I'm like,
I do hope we get some.
Yeah, I think that could be really good. I think it could be a real step in the right direction. A Spider-Man film that feels and looks like Shang-Chi, I think, could be really good.
Yeah, I've heard
all my criticisms of the big CGI shit. Like,
they're like casting like Asian actors for villains. I'm like, oh, Mr. Negative would be so nice to do. And they're also filming in like a Chinatown. I'm like, oh, that would be so nice to do.
Are they filming it now?
And yeah, it's shooting at the moment.
Is it?
They're shooting in Glasgow in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh wow! I'm hoping to see some pictures then. Hopefully we get some looks with a new costume and stuff.
Yeah, they're shooting in Glasgow at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
But I want Brand New Day to be good. But it's a hard one for me for No Way Home.
I think they're reinventing it, because I think they've had their trilogy with that.
I loved it when it came out. Yeah,
No Way Home did well, but I'm sure they're aware of the reaction of like actual like as a film. They can't watch that and be like, this is a good new film. This is very much
I loved
it
when it came out. I just kind of would I would rather watch a lot more of these movies than
I think I would, because I haven't got the time to sit down and consume movies properly. I could stick this on in the background and play on my Switch, and I'll be happy.
Casual flex.
I didn't say Switch 2. I just said Switch. You're the one attributing the flex. I didn't flex. I could have been talking about the Switch one.
That's true. But you are talking about Switch 2.
I am talking about the Switch 2. Yes.
So now he's flexing. But yeah, like, yeah, I didn't really have much else to say about this movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is Moon Knight.
My number 3 is WandaVision.
Okay. You know what? That makes me very happy because it means that Moon Knight is higher on your list, and that is great news. What's your number 2?
My number 2, I'm going to switch this up because I've got something else changed. I'm going to put Loki at number 2.
So Moon Knight's your number 1 then?
I'm going to put Moon Knight number 1.
Let's fucking go, man. I'm so happy about that. It's my number 3. My number 2 is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now...
Honestly, based.
I feel... Like, I didn't... I'm looking at this now going, maybe I've dug myself a hole here.
Come on.
I'll justify it in the sense of the worst part about this film, there's 2 things. The expectation going into it being this massive multiversal thing.
Yeah.
Right? Especially after No Way Home. And specifically the scene with the Illuminati, where you've got fucking John Krasinski in a terrible CGI costume as Mr. Fantastic, and like Patrick Stewart just sort of wheeling around in his big yellow fucking Playmobil, and like that
Peggy
shit.
Carter.
Like, the best thing that they did with that film was have Scarlet Witch come in and brutally murder all of them. I think this film is one of the more creatively interesting Marvel films ever made. I think it comes in with a very unique vision. Sam Raimi is a fantastic director, and he brings his horror approach. People take the piss out of this for like some of the stuff. Some of the mise-en-scène, if you will, is gorgeous. Some of the visuals, the way they tell the story, the way they convey the story, I think is brilliant. The story isn't my favourite. The story has some elements lacking. I'm sorry, Doctor Strange versus an evil Doctor Strange firing music notes at each other while the music notes play in the score is fucking awesome, man. That goes hard as fuck. You've got like the shit with them falling into different universes and all that sort of thing. I'm not interested in. I'm interested in like it's the visuals of it. It's like Scarlet Witch dreaming of having like the WandaVision life with the kids, and then she wakes up and it's like all like high saturation, and then the colour just washes out very slowly as she gets out of bed and realises her miserable life. Her being a surprise villain, like a lot of the elements of this film.
Great surprise.
It's good. It's a good film. Like it whatever you think about the story and whatever you like, I thoroughly enjoy like what they try to do with this film. It does fumble a few bits. It's not perfect, but I love the fact, and the reason I think it's so high on my list is I will advocate for it being one of the more creatively interesting Marvel films out there, where the director has not had studio interference. This is what Eternals should have been like. It should have been Chloe Zhao's complete vision. This is Sam Raimi's complete vision. The reason he gets that treatment is because it's Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
He directed the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. Let him come in and make a really good Doctor Strange film, and then we'll all criticise it for shit, because it didn't have all the characters he wanted in it. Who gives a flying toss? I don't care.
This might be a slight hot take. Bar Loki, I think this could be the best, if not the only good multiverse story we've had.
Because it's about the multiverse
Marvel.
as a concept, as opposed to, hey, do you remember this character? Hey, do you remember this character? Hey, do you remember this character? I hate that about Marvel nowadays. And
Loki's the only other one that I think does it well. I think everything else is just a fest.
100%.
I think that's what Secret War and Doomsday is going to be as well. But that's
I mean,
different
Secret Wars and Doomsday will very much be that. But hopefully the Russos can put together a good story, because God knows they can't make a good film outside the MCU. So it'd be good to have them try and put something together that actually works. Be nice for them.
I do love this movie, Doctor Strange. I loved it when it came out as well. I think it's good because I don't think you have to watch WandaVision. However, I think there's enough payoff in it for watching WandaVision, if that makes sense.
100%. The logic behind it makes complete sense.
Yeah. Wanda Scarlet Witch is a fantastic villain. She's amazing.
Brutal as fuck in this as well. And it's like, she's been reading this dark spiritual text. I'm like, yeah, cool.
The Dark Code,
fantastic.
It's so good. It is Yeah.
The visuals are good. I love the scene as well, like at the beginning where he's at the wedding. Do you not feel like it's just so like Sam Raimi Spider-Man core when he's like on the balcony and he sees the giant monster and he just sort of goes, all right, puts his champagne glass on the tray, whips his cloak out and jumps off and then gets into his costume and it's like, oh, that one shot is just beautiful.
Have you seen the clip of when he's sitting on the pew in the church and there's the SA, the girl sitting behind him?
Yeah.
Have you seen this clip just like that?
Acting her ass off, yeah.
So good. Even that, like those little things, like it's just funny. But yeah, this film is fantastic. America Chavez is amazing.
Where's it in your list?
Fantastic. I put it at 8, so below Shang-Chi, below Miss Marvel.
Not too bad. Yeah.
But still, it's like above Wakanda Forever and She-Hulk.
Okay.
Like, I would happily sit down and watch this movie, and I have sat down and watched this movie on multiple occasions.
It's good. Like, I think it's a good film.
It's great. I think it's a good sequel. I think it's a good sequel.
It's a really solid sequel because it builds on the first film. It builds on No Way Home. It builds on the multiversal concept without it being too cameo heavy. It did do that a little bit with that one scene, but killed them all off. So
I even quite liked the Illuminati scene. Like I loved the John Krasinski. Reed Richards.
I did go like, wow, like what the fuck?
Yeah, so did I. I loved seeing Peggy Carter again. I loved having Baron Mordo again as like a good guy and then becomes a villain again. Patrick Stewart again, great. Always nice to see him. It was just a good all around, and even oh my god, what's his name? Not Echo. Oh my god, what's his name? The sound guy.
Oh god, I can't remember.
I can't remember his name. Anyway. But that scene where she brutally murders them all was funny, but it was so well done. It's not Bullseye. I cannot remember his name to save my life.
Hang on, and we're gonna find this out. What's this dumbass guy's fucking name, man?
He's got the tuning fork on his head. Oh my god, I cannot remember his name.
Black Bolt.
That's it, Black Bolt.
Because he's got like a stupid name, hasn't he? He's got. I'm pretty sure he's got like a daft name. Hasn't he? Like his actual name is like a daft.
I've no idea
how he's introduced. Yeah, because that's it. He's called Blackagar Boltagon.
Oh yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, this movie is great.
Yeah.
Like again, I think it does multiverse well. I think America Chavez's introduction as the character and wanting to be hunted down is fantastic.
Yeah,
Wanda being the Vision is fantastic. Links into WandaVision, links into this.
Yeah,
Wiccan and Speed kind of style thing. It's great.
So what's your number 2 then?
My number 2 is Loki.
Yeah. Loki was my number 5. Like, I haven't got too much to say about this because I'm sort of like going back on a memory, but I think the music is gorgeous in this. I think the visuals are fantastic, and I love that it's a time travel sort of romp. The twist of it being like a female version of Loki. And then you've got different versions of Loki as well. Like Richard E. Grant. It's like Sylvie. Fantastic. Yeah, that's it. You got all these sort of like connotations and like ideas, and it's very, very creative. And I think when it was coming out, people described it as like Doctor Who, but in Marvel. And I'm like, I can't agree more. I think it's a really clever thing, and it's probably better than Doctor Who's been since this came out. I think because it's a creatively rich story about time travel and with high concept sets and designs and stuff. You've got these sort of like points in time and fixed points. It deals with time travel, which really I don't think Doctor Who does actually that much nowadays. I think Loki does a really, really good job of playing with that, and it makes Loki a much more interesting character, giving him this sort of TVA stuff.
A fantastic addition to Loki's character. You don't realize how. I don't think you realize how good Tom Hiddleston is as Loki until this show came out, because the emotion that he brings to the character is so good. Like, it's also like just the way he plays it, like having Loki fall in love with himself is such an amazing idea.
Yeah.
Showing all these different variants of Loki in the finale with Kid Loki and Richard E. Grant and the original Loki, like it's such an amazing idea.
Richard E. Grant is fantastic as well. I love that man so much.
It's also one of the only shows that kind of has given us something into the MCU, like with the TVA, with the the Zone with Goliath and stuff like.
Yeah.
It has had weight since then, and then Loki season 2 adds onto that even more.
I haven't seen Loki season 2. I will preface that. Despite the fact that it's 5th on this list here, I've never got round to watching season 2.
Yeah,
I just never got round to starting it, but I'd like to.
Loki season 1, I think, was when it came out as well. I think also having the mid-season reveal like the what was it? Not the Watchers. What were they called again? Were they called the Watchers? I can't remember. The guys who were supposed to like make the timeline, have them be not real, and then like Kang's reveal, and then He Who Remains at the end, linking that to Kang the Conqueror. That was just so good.
Is Kang in season 2 of Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Yeah.
That's tough.
But then again, that's not a Loki issue. That's a Marvel issue.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get around to it. I like the connectivity, and I like that it's a completely new story that is separate to the MCU, but then ties itself back in. And I like how like that. I can't remember what you'd call it. That zone with the Goliath and shit.
I can't remember what it's called.
I'm
Dead Zone. The Zero. No,
it's something.
The Void.
Like that, it's obviously the Void. It might be. Yeah, I think it's the Void actually. And also they use that in Deadpool and Wolverine as well. Very well. They use the TVA in Deadpool and Wolverine. I think it's a very clever idea. That I like that it's come back. I like that it's got relevance. I like that it's interconnected. Let's talk about our top picks then. So for me, I mean, we know what our top picks are by now. My number 1 is WandaVision.
My number 1 is Moon Knight,
which I'm delighted to hear. And I think on reflection, I'm thinking about WandaVision. I'm like, is it number 1? I don't know. It's hard to know without rewatching everything in this list to know whether it's like
Marvel peaked early for you.
Yeah, it's more like for me, they got it so right with this show where it was like, I don't know. It's the twists of it, right? It comes in WandaVision. It's their first thing since Far From Home. It's their first Marvel TV show, and they play directly into the TV format brilliantly. Every week has a different visual aesthetic to a different era of like TV comedy. But meanwhile, you've got this other stuff going on in the background. I think it does everything that a TV show can and should do of this genre, where you keep a mystery and you sort of tease at this mystery that keeps you invested week in, week out. And I think the payoff was good. I think the payoff really worked. And as soon as you leave this TV aesthetic and it starts to become more of a show, I think it does weaken. But I also think that it adds to that, and it makes it so much more interesting as well. I was fascinated with the show when it came out, and I was obsessed.
It's new and refreshing. I think, like you're saying, it works well with the television format. I think having the music in it, having Agatha be the villain, like the whole Agatha all along stuff is fantastic.
Oh, the stuff with Agatha's great. It's like that whole thing of her like lingering in the background is
amazing.
Great. I love that
casting
when you're watching like the sitcom style show, and then they say something, and they're like, "Oh, do you want me to do that line again?" It's like, oh my god! Like whenever it breaks that illusion, it's fascinating. I love that one at the end of that one episode where Vision is sort of kicking off at Wanda, and the credits start rolling, and then she walks out of the room, and it's like, and then he keeps going, and then the credits sort of break, and then you sort of watch the scene. It's so clever.
It's so genius.
Such a clever way of doing it, where like you're playing with the format. They've got their first TV show, and they're really playing with the idea of TV, and it explains it in a really good way. Yeah, I just found this a lot more interesting than many of the other TV projects they've done after. I think WandaVision is a perfect example of how to do a week in, week out TV show. I think Hawkeye is another. I think Loki is another. I don't think the other shows, in my opinion, did as good of a job at like holding to this thing and justifying themselves as a TV show. If you're going to do a TV show, you need to justify why you're doing that over a movie, because this is a movie franchise. And I think WandaVision justifies it. I think Loki justifies it. I think Hawkeye justifies it. It's like that week in, week out mystery of like, what is going on here, and trying to piece together things that are going on. That is what they need to bring back if they want to do more Marvel TV. Like, that is what is keeping people interested, engaged in the show. It's not the show itself, it's the discussion around it.
Yeah.
Dr. Who, take notes.
Hey, Wishwill did it, so... Yeah. Anyway, I literally have nothing else I can add to this. Like, you've summed it up literally perfectly. Like it is just it's a fantastic show. I think the ending does slip out a little bit, because I think it becomes but that's because it becomes very Marvel-y. It becomes very the fighting and all this kind of jazz. But apart from that, I think even like having the outside characters come into it, like when Monica Rambeau comes into it and she gets sucked into this like TV show world, like it's a genius idea. Great recurring characters as well. There's some fantastic characters who work for the scientist organization who've come back or have been in it since.
Yeah.
It's just genius, and I love Wanda and I love Vision. I think their pairing is great.
And I think we're going to get this Vision show anytime soon. That was set up in this.
Yeah, literally with White Vision and stuff. And I think as Elizabeth Olsen, I think she is one of the great. Like,
she's great. She's one of the best inclusions to the franchise, and I think she's not going to be gone forever. I think they're definitely going to bring her back at some point. It's just when they decide to. We also didn't talk about Doctor Strange having another cliffhanger ending that has never been resolved.
That is true. Post-credit scene with Dormammu's daughter, I think it's supposed to be.
Something like that, yeah.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
I like, again, this era just has a lot of elements of...
It just has a lot of unanswered questions.
A lot of unanswered questions and a lot of, like, this has never...
I think Doctor Who have taken the wrong notes from Marvel, to be honest.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, folks.
He's speaking the truth.
Let's talk about Moon Knight.
This show is perfect.
This show is great, and I think it's such a shame that it was not as well received as it should have been.
It's criminal.
Because it sort of didn't do as amazingly, and it didn't get it hasn't really been picked up since, which is such a shame because Oscar Isaac is genuinely like a phenomenal
he put his
actor.
Heart and soul into this role. Like the research he did for this role is 100%. Out of this world. I
think the action is great. I think the concept is great. I think it's really, really interesting. And I love... I don't know about you, Cooper, but like as a kid, I had like a proper little Egypt phase. Maybe because I started watching Indiana Jones as a kid and I was just obsessed with like Egypt and like ancient Egypt and that sort of shit.
Egyptian gods and stuff.
This being around that is super fucking interesting. I loved a lot of it. I really, really do. And there's a lot of... I don't know. So many great elements to it. The music, the visuals, the fact that it's set in London.
The music is so good. Sorry, can we just take a second? The music is fantastic in this show.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up.
Engelbert Humperdinck, my guy. The stuff. I love the fact it's like what you did to research the role, like how different versions of Moon Knight. I know people had issues with the continuities of the comics and how that lined itself up and like different interpretations. I like that one of them was British and one of them was like American.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't know.
I liked having the different suits, like having Moon Knight and Mr. Knight. Like I love that. Like you could tell who was what when they were.
Please say that again.
All right, my Alexa's kicking right off today. Jesus Christ, chill out. You can leave that in. That was funny.
I'm gonna leave that in.
It was one of those things where it's like I think I love as well that he like took inspiration from like British culture and like Carl Pilkington to like craft his character of, and he genuinely said that as well, which is crazy.
Yeah,
to craft the character of like Mr. Knight and like the British accent and voice and the culture of that, like him working at the British Museum.
Yeah.
I just think it's brilliant. And there's so many elements to it where I'm like, this is just so like interesting and like well put together. And it's new and fresh. And I don't know what it is, but I have such nostalgic, strong memories of this show. Even if I like haven't really thought much about it since, I think
I watched the first episode recently again. And it's such a good first episode. Like, perfectly. It's a bit like WandaVision where it's like, you think it's all normal, and then it slowly starts to put some bits in here and there. And then he appears in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, "What the hell?"
Split personality
you meet what's
disorder.
his name's character, with the crocodile, like the judgment thing, and then like the scene when he's in his apartment and starts seeing Khonshu for the first time, and he's like completely freaking out. Like he runs to the elevator, and there's the old woman in the elevator and stuff. Like it's genius.
Yeah.
And then the ending reveal of him turning into Moon Knight for the first time is so good. It is so good. And even the introduction, like having Sacred Scarab at the end and have it. What's the villain called again? I cannot remember his name.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it tells you. That's the one thing I think it tells you everything though. Is I cannot for the life of me remember who the villain was in that story. I can't even picture them. Like I think that tells you everything. Again. Yeah, I would probably watch it again.
Because it's only like 8 episodes, isn't it? Yeah, Ethan Hawke's character.
I forgot about Ethan Hawke. Yes.
Arthur Harrow. Yeah, that's his name. 6 episodes it is. Yeah. Yeah, like it's great. It is fantastic.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it, and I like the element of it exploring the split personality disorder, which is obviously quite a hard topic to tackle in like moving image media. Back in the day when they made the Moon Knight comic, they probably didn't have to do not split personality, DID. I should get that right. I think it was just so impressive the way they handled it in a respectful manner that also felt educating, but also was like,
I agree.
It made for a good story, and it was just
I think that's one of the it's similar vein of Miss Marvel where I enjoyed it as well because it was educating. And I think it's again like so the Doctor Who episodes that have come out more recently that I've enjoyed are the educational ones. Like I quite like when they do stuff like that and it's different and they manage to wiggle in
something new.
Yeah,
I liked Scarlet Scarab being in it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. I thought the ending was good as well when they're on the boat and stuff and he goes back through his life and everything like that.
Yeah, and you sort of explore that.
You meet the hippo.
I thought, the hippo. I loved all of it, and I think I have such strong memories of like when this came out and just enjoying it and just like watching it myself and enjoying it. I remember, this is really daft, but like I remember when it came out, it was around the same time as the Lego Star Wars game came out. So I remember like watching this and then playing that, and then watching this and then playing that, and I was like, it was very much like that era of that. It was really I enjoyed it. It was a proper nostalgia. It's nostalgic to think about, and I actually do want to revisit that at some point maybe.
It is fantastic.
And I think that's that, isn't it, for our list? So to go back through our list again, because it's just for people who may have missed a few, whatever, I'll go through my list. So 15th to first place, I've got Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Widow, Eternals, Miss Marvel, What If Season 1, Shang-Chi, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, She-Hulk, Hawkeye, Loki Season 1, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and WandaVision.
Yeah, and mine 15 to 1, Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Widow, What If Season 1, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, She-Hulk, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Eternals, WandaVision, Loki Season 1, and Moon Knight.
Lovely stuff. Right, well, I think it's a good a time of any, I think, to go over to our Just News segment today. Jesus Christ. I don't even remember putting this one in. So this either I've nicked one of yours or...
I think you might have nicked one of mine because I caught a glimpse of what this is.
I don't think I recognise it at all. So... that's fun. I'm nicking it anyway. Fuck it. So this comes from the Chronicle Live, which makes me feel that that's somewhat local to Newcastle. Is the Chronicle nationwide now, or is that still feels like it's up north? Quick Fit manager suspended after performing karaoke session with customer's sex toy.
I think this was mine because I remember finding this out. I think I sorted this out I took the Newcastle one, I think, and put this one back in its place. I think that's what it is.
If it's there, it's there.
We're here now.
The Quick Fit worker performed a karaoke session with a customer's sex toy, but the joke wasn't seen to be funny by the bosses, who have now launched an investigation. That's such a shame. There's a photo of it already, and it's really funny, actually. A Quick Fit manager at a repair centre in Scotland has faced disciplinary proceedings after getting caught on camera using a customer's sex toy as a microphone during a karaoke stunt. The incident, which reportedly unfolded in the presence of another customer, for fuck's sake, failed to amuse senior figures at the firm, prompting an immediate internal inquiry. The tongue-in-cheek act led to serious repercussions for the employee, who was penalised for violating the customer's privacy and trust. Disturbing details of the November occurrence I'm not reading that all out, came to light, along with further allegations from a whistleblower regarding improper services that necessitated customer recalls and reworkings. Jesus, this has got way too serious. It's just about a singing in a sex toy.
What the hell?
The insider expressed dismay, stating the video has circulated of a manager singing into a sex toy taken right out of a customer's car in front of another customer. That's brave, mind. I think that is really brave doing that when there's another customer right there.
Can I be honest? I think it's the customer's fault for leaving it in the car.
I do think
Why is it
in the nicest way
car?
possible? I do think in the nicest way possible. I mean, I'm not going to answer that question. I can't have a guess. But I think if you're going to get your car fixed up and you're leaving it at a garage with, and not to sort of generalise, but if you're leaving it with middle-aged men who work in a garage and you've got a sex toy in view, not hidden away, but like, I don't know where it was, but I'm presuming it was on the seat. Yeah. If it's in view, I don't know. I think you're asking for it. The problem is he's done this in front of another customer. Now, this is bad altogether for business practice. It's bad press, is what it is. I don't think anyone would have given a shit if the video had not gone viral.
Good press, though.
Yeah, exactly. Not for Quick Fit. The fucking
maybe
was so funny.
maybe the radio was on and he was just vibing. Like maybe that's just came over him.
That looks like it was in the boot. Interesting. I don't know. They continue by highlighting the ethical breach. Ethical. Commenting, how can you trust Quick Fit when they are grabbing your personal items out of your car instead of putting you back on the road safely? And going through customers' cars is strictly a breach of their privacy and company regulations. All right, fair enough then. I feel like you shouldn't really be going through the car if that's... Yeah. That's
I don't know if there's anything to say that he went through the car, though.
I mean, where does you stick it? In the fucking exhaust?
No, but like...
I mean, come on. Where... It's got to have been...
What if it's a tyre change and the spare tyre's in the boot?
Shout, to be fair. Yeah, then I guess the argument then would be maybe change the tyre and don't sing it to a dildo. Pop off, King. Bosses did not see the funny side of the staff member's joke. The photo is killing me.
It's a great photo.
Further concern, he's very close to it as well. I don't think I can...
Yes, yeah.
Further concerns were raised when it was revealed that the staff member's name had been attributed to work conducted while he was away on holiday from October 21st to 26th, as pointed out by the now former employee who has also noted issues with wheel alignments found during an audit. I don't care about that. He voices concern, saying, now, not only is this unfair on me, as any mistakes by these untrained staff could result in an investigation on me if anything went wrong, but my main concern is the customers here below whose safety could be at risk.
What?
I don't really understand the safety aspect, but sure. He also highlighted that Quick Fit always claims the priority of the company is to keep customers safe on the road and offer the best professional advice. Furthermore, he underscored the lapse in service standards by arguing an employee who has not been on a training course on how to service does not offer the best advice. Well, that's surely Quick Fit's fault then.
How does this relate to you singing into a vibrator?
They're just trying to move it along, aren't they? We are aware of a Quick Fit have said, we were aware of a video of an employee behaving inappropriately at one of our centres. As soon as we saw the video, we began an investigation and have taken formal action in line with company protocol. We are aware of claims made by an ex-employee regarding servicing. We had investigated the jobs in question, and although they were carried out by a staff member who has not completed his service training, there was an experienced service technician present. Our investigation did reveal, however, that the jobs weren't recorded correctly on our system. We are contacting the customers involved to invite them to come in at their convenience and have the work reviewed free of charge and the record updated. I just think it's quite funny that it's like there's a technician on site and he's watching this guy just sing into a microphone, this untrained fucking like gibbon, just sat there singing into a dildo while you've got actual professionals who've done their training trying to work on this car.
It's stupid. I love how this has gone from him singing into a vibrator to then launching a full investigation to realise that like loads of jobs that have been done in the last like year or so just haven't been done correctly.
Honestly, there's even more. A spokesperson acknowledged that some wheel alignments had been incorrectly documented, pointing out this is really boring. All work carried out at the centre is subject to regular audits. Let's just
move on. I don't care for the rest of it.
They further explain the situation. No, I don't care about fucking car audits, my guy. So my thing is, they said video. I want to find the video.
Oh, let's find this.
I think I found the video. Oh, I think I found the video straight away. Of course, the Daily Mail had posted it. Fantastic. I'll send it to you, Cooper. We can have a look at this.
I think I found this, yeah.
God, I have to allow ads. Hang on. To pause my ad block. Let's have a look at this.
Oh my god. Oh, it's a tiny video, like, to be fair.
I can't actually. It hasn't loaded for me yet. Oh, I've got an advert. Hang on. This is riveting entertainment as always. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like a 1 second video.
Oh, is it? What's he singing? Do you know?
No sound, unfortunately.
No sound? He's singing! I'm not watching a 30-second advert for a 1 second clip, am I?
You are, definitely.
I'm watching something about clothing. It's very interesting.
That's so...
Oh, it's a Matalan advert. Brilliant. Why do they think I'm the demographic for Matalan? I've got a 15-second clip here. Oh, no, it is just looped.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that deep, is it? He's going through the boot and he's just pulled it out and went, "Whoa," and then put it back. I mean, Christ. It's not that deep, is it?
It's not that deep.
Is it really?
I don't think it's that deep.
It certainly wasn't that deep in the boot if he found it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Nostalgia Bait. It's been a lot of fun to revisit the MCU, Phase 4, go through all that again. We will eventually make a Phase 5 MCU review, but it will require at least me watching everything first.
Yeah.
Is there any parts that you haven't seen, Cooper?
I think a lot of I've seen all the movies, definitely.
Okay.
Run through.
In which case, I think maybe focus on Andor first. And then...
Yeah. Phase 5, Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Seen it.
Marvels.
Not seen it.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
You seen it.
Captain America: Brave New World.
No.
Thunderbolts.
No.
And then TV shows, Secret Invasion.
I watched one episode of it and turned
So
it
did
off.
that. Loki Series 2.
Not seen it.
What If Series 2 and 3.
Not seen it.
Echo.
Not seen it.
Agatha All Along.
Not seen it.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Not seen that. No. I've heard it's good though.
Daredevil Born Again.
Not seen that, but heard that's very good.
And then Ironheart, which comes out.
Not seen it.
This
I've
month.
not seen most of them. I've seen Deadpool and Wolverine. I've seen Guardians 3. That's pretty much all I've seen. So is this still on? Is this still coming out then?
No, so Thunderbolts, or at least
the last one.
Thunderbolts is the last movie, and I think Ironheart's the last TV show. I believe.
Say that again.
I believe Ironheart's the last TV show, and Thunderbolts is the last movie of Phase 5.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong.
Well, in that case, we could probably look at that soon then, and have
Yeah.
a look at it. But for me, I've got a lot to catch up on there. You've got Andor to watch first, and then maybe eventually we'll get to that. But yeah, it'll probably be a while before we do our Phase 5 ranking. But in the meantime, of course, subscribe, and you can check out our previous rankings of Phase 3, 2, and 1 on the Nostalgia Bait YouTube channel and on Spotify, where you can find all of our podcast episodes. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please do follow us on Spotify. Give us a hearty 5-star review because it really helps. On YouTube, you can subscribe, comment below, let us know what you like, what you want to see more of, etc., etc. We're also available on other podcast mediums as well: Apple, Amazon, Castbox. I lose track. Yeah, check us out on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, on TikTok, and yeah, all those links are down below. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all later.
Bye-bye.